Greetings, CrossFit Inconceivable community. Coach Amelia here with our daily workout called Around the Back. You'll find 4 videos to get you through the whole of this workout. This piece right here, warm up and some shoulder stabilization exercises. Then we'll have a workout explanation, the workout video, and a cool down. So let's get started. I'll start the clock and we'll start warming up. We have a lot of core and shoulder exercises today. Fridays we focus on kind of some recovery and stabilization. So let's start with just some gentle arm hugs. So we're gonna give ourselves a hug. Alternate which arm is over top as you move through this here. Kind of warming up the shoulder joints. Good, and then we're gonna reach back and tap our backs and feel the triceps opening up there. Good. Well, now reach out to the side and get some small arm circles. I have to get some clearance here. Workouts in the attic, and then get bigger as we go, moving forward, bigger circles, drawing that. Good. And then we'll start the opposite direction. Small circles backward, and we'll open up and get bigger as we go. Good. And then we're going to need a few inchworm to push-ups. So we're going to reach tall, reach as high as we can, take a little time and reach each side. Good to open up the ribs and the abdomen. Good, and then we're going to reach forward for our toes. Maybe you need a little knee bend to start, but if you can get there with straight legs, you can. Then walk out to the top, and we're going to get 2 scat push-ups, and then a full push-up, chest to ground, and up to the top, and then walk our way back in. We're going to do 3 more of those. We're going to reach tall, and take a minute, inch out each side, then dive forward, get some hamstring stretch out of it. Walk all the way to the top of that push-up, get 2 scat push-ups. Then we're going to lower the chest to the ground, and you can do a full push-up, or if you need to, you can also kind of worm your way back up to the top. I'm going to step back a little bit so you can make sure you see me the whole way through. Reaching tall, side bending, diving forward, walking your hands up to the top of that push-up. And for the scat push-up, we're just going shoulder blades. If you need to, you can be on your knees. For this portion, you can do a knee push-up here as well, or again from the side. If you're in a plank, you can kind of roll your way up. So practicing that negative lowering of the push-up and coming back up is a way to graduate through those skills. And push ourselves all the way up to stand. We have 1 more. So I'm reaching tall, opening up the side of the ribs and abdomen, diving forward, walking out to the top of a push-up, 2 scat push-ups, a full push-up, and then walking our way back in. Good. We're going to get some side bending work here. I want you to stand with your feet a little wider, shoulder width apart perhaps. We're going to just get a little bit of side bending each way. So let your hand just trace down the side of your leg. And be really disciplined that you're just moving in this lateral plane like you're between 2 pieces of glass. Good. And then we're going to let ourselves send our hips back. So I'm going to raise one arm up toward the ceiling, and the opposite hand is still going to come down the leg. I'm still keeping my hips straight. I'm hinging at the hips. I'm straight through my spine, but I'm letting myself get a little bit lower. Let's try that on the other side. So I'm letting my hand trace the leg, just light pressure here, reaching for the ceiling and coming back up. So you should think first about hips back, reach down, use the glutes to stand tall. Hips back, reach down, and use the glutes to stand tall. Let's get 1 more each way. We should feel that hamstring stretch a little bit to the side of the body as well. Did I say 2 each way? 2 just for good measure. Good. Now we're going to get a little bit of work on the floor. We're going to get into a scorpion here. So we're going to be on the ground. Our arms are in a T. And we can use this hand to help push us over, reaching that foot towards the opposite hand. And we're doing this actively. So we're kind of rotating, opening up the shoulder that's on the ground, opening up the leg that's coming back and behind. Good. And if that's too far, just go as far as you can. Maybe it's just lifting the leg slightly each way. That's okay too. Meet yourself where you are. Good. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of work waking up the posterior chain, the muscles in the back. And we're going to do some lifting of the chest. So you can use your hands as much as you want to, or if you can just use the back muscles, that's okay too. No contact here, or pressing through the hands. We're going to lift and lower 5 times. That's 2, 3, and 5. And now we're going to lift the bottom half. So we're going to squeeze our legs together and squeeze the glutes to lift our feet off the floor. 2, 3, good. 4, and 5. And now we're going to roll into our backs and still keep waking up that posterior chain. That means our glutes and our hamstrings, sometimes our calves. And what we're going to do is think about pushing our feet into the floor and lifting our hips high, getting into a glute bridge. Good. And lifting up and lowering. 3 more. Good. And 4 and 5. And if you're able to keep that last one up, we're going to walk our feet out, still keeping the hips raised, and then walk them back in. Good. Walk them out and walk them in. Good. One more time. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and come onto our hands and knees and get a little bit of wrist work here. So we're going to be on all fours. Our fingers are open wide. So they're extended onto the floor. We're going to just rock our weight over the hands, just so you feel that engagement in the forearms. Good. And then we're going to take the hands out to the side. And then towards us, more of a bind there. Good. And then gently on the backs of the hands, opening and closing the fists. Good. All right, now I'm going to take you through what we call the IYTW progressions. And these are great to use for shoulder stabilization. And I'm going to show it to you in 2 ways. Once standing and once on the floor. And both are options that you can use. And we're going to go through it twice anyway, so you could do it both ways with me. Or if you prefer one of them, standing or on the floor, you could do that for both rounds through. So what we mean when we say IYTW, we're referring to those letters and the shapes that we make for them. And this is a shoulder stabilization exercise. So when I perform these standing, I get into a bit of a hip hinge. So I just send my hips back and have a soft bend in the knee. And I'm tall and proud through the chest. And for the I just bring the arms straight forward, kind of like a capital I. Okay? And I'm keeping the shoulders engaged. I'm not really shrugging up and reaching. I'm keeping the shoulder blades on the back as I really isolate that movement through my shoulders. Okay, we're going to do that 8 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the Y, we come out to a 45. So again, I'm thinking about shoulders engaged first, and then sweeping the arms up and out into a Y shape. Okay, so if I was here, Y is here. And we're going to do that 8 times. So we'll call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you should feel like you're doing it against a little bit of resistance. You're kind of giving yourself that feedback. I'm not just swinging my arm, but I'm really thinking about intentionally moving it through, okay? If you need a little break, the reason I like to do it standing is I also get this kind of glute and core stabilization by doing a slight chair pose, okay? Now we're going to do a T. So we did I was here. Y is to a 45. T is straight out to the side, okay? And again, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades down together. I'm not reaching up here, and I'm not just flailing them. I'm with intention thinking about squeezing my shoulder blades together. So let's call that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That was the T. Okay, we have one more, the W. I'll show it to you from the front and from the back as well. So the W, we start by bringing the elbows up and out, kind of like you were doing a row, and up and out, and then we rotate up. Okay, so we're working on those external rotators of the shoulders. So elbows out and rotate up. You can see how that's kind of like a W there. Okay, from the back, that looks like pulling here and then rotating up. Okay, so let's call that 3. So we did a couple extra. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do that all lying down, okay? And so I'm going to be on the floor here, making sure you can still see me. And we're going to do 8 eyes. Our lower body stays close to the ground. We're just going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew, and rest. Now we're going to go to the Y, to that 45. Keeping the shoulders engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now we need to be in a T. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And for the W, I'm going to start here and I'm going to pull back and then lift up. Okay, it's a little harder. I've kind of isolated that range of motion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So one thing to note with those is, for me, I already feel it. I feel that kind of burning around the shoulders or waking up a lot of those little stabilizing muscles. And some people do these with weights, but really small weights. So if you could bench press 100 pounds, you'd probably only use 5 at the most, maybe, for these, like little 5-pound weights, change plates from the gym, or little dumbbells. But no weights, if you're really using good intention, is totally okay and appropriate, okay? That's the IYTW, and you can use that anytime. The standing version is nice to use, during your workday. Take a little break from the computer and get there. So I'm going to pause now. That's the end of our warm-up and shoulder stabilization. We're going to move into the explanation next. See you in a moment.